Hello there, YouTube. I am Necrostevo. Thank you for being here for yet another battle in low-tier Mayhem. For week number 5, our opponent is none other than Diet Tight, aka Jay, with his team, the Minnesota Lycanwolves. Be sure to go check out his side in the description. Diet Tight has been uploading these Draft League battles for quite a while, and again, thank you for the opportunity to face you in battle. I can see why you invited the shadows to this realm, because you wanted to see what would happen if you took them on. And we respect our opponents who willingly face the shadows. Let's take a look at his team. For our matchup, Diet Tight had access to Lycanroc Dust form. Perfect for the team mascot, by the way. Volcanion, his Soul Terra captain. Sandy Shocks, Shaman, Araquanid, Hitmontop, Mimikyu, Wheezing, Umbreon, and actually he had Terra Noctowl as well. As for what he actually brought to the battle, you can see that on the screen now. For our team, we brought our Choice Scarf Gengar because it speed ties with the Lycanroc, and I wanted to force him into some of those priority options for free swap-ins if needed. I am feeling really spicy about my Mesprit set this week. We have Blunder Policy with Thunder, Nasty Plot, Draining Kiss, and Psychic, alongside a very nice Terra Fairy. And our other Terra captain, Terra Flygon, is Terra Poison, shoutouts to Nova, thank you. Terra Poison with Dragon Dance and 3 attacks. With the very notable, I also have Banded Flamigo, also with dual wing beat because he does not have a swap in for Banded Flamingo. We have a defensive Assault Vest, Electromorphosis Belly Bolt, and then we round things out with our lead here, our defensive Tinkaton with Rocky Helmet. Now to lead this battle, I thought there's a chance he could have some Focus Sashes in the back, which is why I figure he might be leading Hitmontop, but we don't see Intimidate. So that means that this thing is most likely offensive, and so I set up Stealth Rocks right away, because if I can KO his Rapid Spinner right now, my Stealth Rocks will be here to stay, and if I can force him into spinning, he'll take that Rocky Helmet chip. Now unfortunately we missed Play Rough as he bulks up. Very unfortunate start to the battle, because that would have been a very easy 2-hit. I could have gone for Gigaton Hammer, but I wanted the shot at least lowering his attack, which is why I went for Play Rough instead. He is able to 2-shot Bonky immediately with +1 attack, and he raised his defense just to lower his defense. But Bonky does go down, but those Stealth Rocks are going to become very annoying for him. Here, I do not want to give him the opportunity to spin them away, and I want to at least force him off the field immediately. So we go right out into Flamigo. Flamigo here with Choice Band, 2-shots or 1-shots every single thing he has, especially because his Volcanion hasn't Terra'd yet, and it is the Terra Steel type. He did tell us that before the match, and so we get to eliminate Hitmontop, which means my rocks should be here to stay. He has the very obvious easy switch in to Wheezing. Wheezing comes in and it takes Stealth Rock damage, so I was like, okay, great, it's not heavy duty boots. I was not worried about Toxic Spikes here because I had Gengar and 3 teammates that were off the ground. The easy swap in would be Mesprit or Gengar here, just in case he decided to go for Will-O-Wisp. Neither of those would care too much about it. He ends up missing the Will-O-Wisp, which I guess because I missed the Play Rough, the game was like, that's fair, right? And it's like, no, missing the Will-O-Wisp does not matter. That being said, Gengar is a very good user of Will-O-Wisp, so maybe he like kind of fire bent the Will-O-Wisp around his body and just threw it up. I don't know. I was very surprised to see Diet Tight swap in Lycanroc Dust form here, and it takes a ton of damage, but honestly that's not that much damage. I thought this would be an easy 2-shot, and based off of the roll I was like, he is definitely Assault Vested, and because of his investment, I thought I could 2-shot him with Shadow Ball, but I barely lived that Stone Edge. We're going to go out immediately to Flygon here as he reveals Sucker Punch, so I'm really happy I didn't try to stay in and finish him off. I thought he was going to go for a Cell Rock, which is why I went out to Flygon. Flygon can take any hit bar Ice Fang from him, and I didn't want to Terra this early, just in case I wanted to Terra the Mesprit later. And so he is forced to stay in here. He's at such low HP, if he switches out, he'll die to that. So we're able to take down the Lycanroc. Shaman comes in. I know that my opponent knows that I could Dragon Dance here. He did see the Life Orb recoil, so he knows I'm not locked in. And I was very tempted to go for a dual Wing Beat. But I also knew that if this were a very defensive Shaman, dual Wing Beat wouldn't really do that much damage to it. It might do 40% without me being boosted up. So thinking that he might just go for a Leech Seed or for kind of just a coverage move, I swap out to Fizzy here. And that turns out to be the play because he did go for Synthesis, so I would have done just damage to myself with the Life Orb. Now Fizzy has a fun set this week. Electromorphosis means that if we get hit, our next electric move will do double damage. We have Acid Spray, which will lower our opponent's special defense 2 stages, and then Parabolic Charge does good damage after the Electromorphosis, and then we get our HP back. So finally we get to use this wonderfully Fizzy set here, and I was thinking he actually might swap out, or if he got the Spadef drop, because Seed Flare has a really good chance to drop my Spadef, then I could just Volt Switch out of there. But we get lucky and he doesn't get it. Of course, Shaman does have Serene Grace, which means it has a very good chance of dropping Spadef with Seed Flare. But once again, we escape without the Spadef drop, and my Fizzy is the one here dropping the special defense. So, turning the Shaman's role on its head just a little bit here. Now that he's at -4 special defense, I am going to switch to going for Parabolic Charge, because even if he swaps out, I'm going to be able to get HP back from something, and if he stays in, I will KO it from this range with -4 Spadef and being boosted by the Electromorphosis. So I also wanted to get my HP back up, because with AV, I could still very lightly check a Volcanion that was trying to go for maybe a Flamethrower or a Sludge Bomb instead of a more powerful move, and I could also, with my max defense, take a hit from Mimikyu, so I was really trying to get my HP up. Volcanion does end up coming in here, and this is the thing that I was worried about in prep, because this thing hits hard, and I did not want to mess around with this. We're going to end up staying in here as he Terras into the Steel type, and I do take the Steam Eruption in theory, but he crits me there. So Fizzy ends up going down. We see that he is leftovers, and so I actually definitely took that hit, and I ended up going for the Volt Switch there, hoping that I could safely bring in someone else. But since he is leftovers, we know that my Flygon and my Flamigo will outspeed him, and that means we get to throw off another free hit. Now, I did not go out to Flamigo here because I figured he would just bring in the Weezing, and so I go out to Flygon because we saw Neutralizing Gas earlier, which means that Weezing is susceptible to ground-type moves. Now, a Life Orb Earthquake is enough to take out the Weezing, and that also would have been enough to take out the Volcanion as well. Now, he only has a few members left on his side, but this unfortunately allows the Mimikyu onto the battlefield. We have to be very careful here, because if I swap out and Mimikyu goes for Swords Dance, it can sweep me outright. Mimikyu is faster than both my Mesprit and my Flamigo, and it can use Shadow Sneak against my Flygon. Now this is the prime reason we brought Dual Wing Beat. We're able to break his disguise and put him in range of my Mesprit. If I have Terra Fairy on my Mesprit, then I am no longer weak to his Ghost type moves, and I could have swapped out here, but I didn't want to risk it, so we let Flygon go down, and the noble sacrifice of Flygon and not using the Terra earlier means that Mesprit can come in, Terra Fairy, and it should be in range of a Psychic. Now, if he happened to be like a bulky Mimikyu, then he could live the Psychic, but after I Terra Fairy, there is no way that he can one-shot me. So we're just going to Terra Fairy and go for our Psychic here. Now, I was really tempted to go for Thunder, just to make sure that I outsped things in the back, but since this Mesprit is enough speed to outspeed the Volcanion anyway, there is no reason to try to pop my Blunder Policy or anything like that. Psychic is just the safe play, and he would have to be relatively bulky from this range of HP to live Psychic, because we are max special attack invested on my Mesprit. With the Volcanion in the back, I am just going to go for the Psychic here. Play Rough does a ton of damage, and a crit actually might have KO'd me there. But fortunately, we're able to take it, and we finish him off with Psychic as predicted. Now, Volcanion is going to come in here next, and again, I could go for Thunder, just to not only do a little bit more damage, but also for the chance of paralysis. But I didn't want to risk anything here, and I figured the worst thing he could do is have Substitute. But even then, if he has Substitute, I still have my Choice Scarf Gengar with just a 2 HP left. So I could always go out into Gengar, break his Substitute, and then finish him off with Flamigo after that. So this is a little bit of a check position for Volcanion here, because I know due to the leftovers that my Pokemon outspeed him, and so he would need to go for Flame Charge in order to boost his speed. But even if he boosts his speed once and he KOs my Mesprit, then in the back my Choice Scarf Gengar will still outspeed him. So he does take down my Mesprit with Sludge Bomb, and I just get a little bit of chip damage there in case I'm forced to go for Focus Blast. But since he does not boost his speed, that means that my Choice Banded Flamigo will outspeed him, and we're able to finish this battle off once again with Skittles here for the rainbow, in your face, hitting it hard with our feet, or our flippers. What are birds' feet called? Talons? Do flamingos have talons? I don't know, but I do know that close combat is enough here to finish the battle off. And that means that the Victorian Shadows win 2-0 versus the Minnesota Lycanwolves. Thank you very much, Diet Tight, for the battle. That was very enjoyable. I could not believe that Bellybolt never got a Spadef drop versus Shaman. I had the secret tech of the extra covert cloak that also came equipped with an assault vest on the inside. Like, I don't know, ballistic vest, I don't know, like a Kevlar vest. It has the effects of covert cloak and assault vest. I don't know. But very fun battle, very difficult to prep for. I have to draft Lycanroc Dusk in the future. That was one Pokemon that I drafted back during Sun and Moon days, and I didn't have the Dusk form back then, and I remember performing very weirdly with the midday form, so we might have to return to that in the future. Anyways, ladies, gentlemen, and those on the spectrum and off of it, thank you for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I hope that you are having a fantastic start to your week. If not, you know where to find me. Join me, and we will end your enemies. We will defeat those who would cause you harm. And as long as I get to keep the body, we'll just call it square. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you next time. Good night.